Good evening. This is Leslie Fuller reporting from the Federal Criminal Courthouse for News 1873's coverage of the trial of Miss Susan Brownell Anthony. Miss Anthony voted in Rochester, New York on November 5, 1872, and was arrested 12 days later. Reportedly, she requested to be arrested in the same manner as a man. News 1873 has been covering the trial, watching Miss Anthony's attorney, Henry Selden, argue that her vote was valid based on the recent constitutional amendment, which classified citizenship and protected citizens' rights.
Gentlemen of the jury, this is a case of no ordinary magnitude, although many might regard it as one of very little importance. The question whether my client here had done anything to justify her being consigned to a felon's prison or not is one that interests her very essentially, and that interests the people also essentially. I claim and shall endeavor to establish before you that when she offered to have her name registered as a voter, and when she offered to vote for member of Congress, she was as much entitled to vote as any man that voted at that election. According to the Constitution and laws of the government under which she lives, if I maintain that proportion, as a matter of course, she has committed no offense and is entitled to be discharged at your hands.
Honorable Judge Hunt determined that because Miss Anthony knew that New York did not allow women to vote, that she was in fact guilty. Today, the judge sentenced Anthony, first asking her if there was any reason why the sentence should not be proclaimed.
Has the prisoner anything to say why sentence shall not be pronounced?
Yes, Your Honor, I have many things to say. For in your order verdict of guilty, you have trampled underfoot every vital principle of our government. My natural rights, my civil rights, my political rights, my judicial rights are all ignored. Robbed of the fundamental privilege of citizenship, I am degraded from the status of a citizen to that of a subject.
Following her initial statements, Miss Anthony had several outbursts to which Honorable Judge Hunt had to repeatedly ask her to sit down.
The prisoner must sit down. The court cannot allow it.
Anthony questioned the sentence, as the verdict of guilty deemed her to not be a peer of those who convicted her.
Yes, Your Honor, but by forms of law all made by men, interpreted by men, administered by men, in favor of men and against women. And hence, Your Honor, verdict of guilty against United States citizen for the exercise of that citizen's right to vote, simply because the citizen was a woman and not a man.
Finally, the judge issued the sentence, which Anthony has refused to serve.
The sentence of the court is that you pay a fine of $100 and the cost of the prosecution.
May it please Your Honor, I shall never pay $1 of your unjust penalty. All the stock in trade I possess is a 10,000 debt, incurred by publishing my paper, The Revolution, 4 years ago, the sole object of which was to educate all women to do precisely as I have done, rebel against you man-made, unjust, unconstitutional forms of law that tax, fine, imprison, and hang women, while they deny them the right of representation in the government, and I shall work on with might and main to pay every dollar of that honest debt. But not a penny shall go to this unjust claim, and I shall earnestly and precisely continue to urge all women to the practical recognition of the old revolutionary maxim that resistance to tyranny is obedience to